In this video, we're going to talk about self-esteem and ways to help you boost it. Sit tight. Welcome back to another video. My name's Jen. I help people reinvent their reality. Today we're going to talk about low self-esteem. Now this is a huge issue for a lot of people. Especially women in particular, growing up or teenagers. We find that a lot of people have body image issues. A lot of people have these self-esteem issues. And basically low self-esteem, what it means, it's basically a skewed perception of ourselves, okay? So say, it's basically a mismatch. So it is a mismatch between how we see ourselves and how other people see us in the world, right? So I'm gonna use some props here, right? So we got a toilet paper roll and we have Spider-Man, all right? So low self-esteem is like you are down here, okay? Down here you have things like unworthiness, helplessness, ugly, fat, like all these low emotional states or low emotional or characteristics tied to low emotional states, right? Feel unworthy, feel unloved, feel undeserving, unaccepted, right? Disgusted with yourself. You're down here, you're a toilet paper roll. And then up here, you have things like pretty, intelligence, I'm worthy, I'm deserving, I'm loved, right? All the things up here, okay? I'm deserving. So there's a mismatch when you have low self-esteem, even though other people may see you up here or maybe, somewhere in the middle, you see yourself down here, okay? You see yourself as a toilet paper roll and not as Spider-Man, right? Okay, good example. So, low self-esteem can often come out with certain behaviors. So you'll see, for example, if there's a need for comfort and safety, it could come out for something like overeating or undereating, or, where somebody develops these dysfunctional relationships with food or with body image issues. The need for acceptance or the need for self-worth come out as like risky or promiscuous behavior for somebody. Attention seeking, somebody who is very needy, they could be seeking out relationships, or they might find themselves in bad relationships a lot of times. So there's a number of ways how insecurities and low self-esteem can come out through behavior. So how do you up your self-esteem? Why do you have low self-esteem in the first place? Well, it could be from a number of things. The first being a lot of times it's from childhood. So think back to a time. Was there a time somebody said something to you from your childhood? Do you have a memory of like somebody calling you fat, somebody calling you ugly? A lot of times we have even repressed memories of something that happened a very long time ago, and it sticks with us, and we kind of form this thought in our head that this is who we are, this is our identity, and that's just how we live our life, always believing it to be true, always believing ourselves, believing, because of this one statement that somebody might have made, back in first grade or something. It carries through to us, and we live, believing that we are undeserving, or we are fat, or we are ugly, and it can affect us later on for sure. So the first thing I would recommend you do, if you feel like you're really insecure, you have low self-esteem, is to explore it a little bit, okay? Explore and delve into, or even write down exactly what you think your attention-seeking or approval-seeking behaviors are. What are the behaviors in your life that you are exhibiting outward that you feel are unhealthy right now? So maybe it's something like even faking your identity, right? You're faking who you are just because you have a need for approval, or you find you have a dysfunctional relationship with food or with your body, right? You have body image issues, or you find yourself always in these relationships with people who treat you like garbage, okay? So identify What are those behaviors for you? Okay, take a magnifying glass to it. And the second step is to, even if you don't know where these behaviors, where they're stemming from, guess. Take a good guess where they're stemming from. So first, write them all down if you can, and then write down what you think those beliefs are that are tied to that. So you could kind of guess on some of them. So if you find yourself in unhealthy relationships, you could guess that, okay, maybe this means that I'm feeling unworthy of love, or I'm feeling unworthy of stability, or I'm feeling afraid of stability. Really look into it, right? Or if it's that you find yourself overeating or undereating. It could be I feel ugly, I feel fat, I feel unworthy, right? So it's writing these thoughts down, and even if you do not know where they're coming from, take a guess, all right? What comes to mind? What comes to mind, and write it down, because writing it down is going to get some of those thoughts out, and it's going to get some of those things that you may have been repressing, okay? Because a lot of times we're distracted and we can't think straight. So sometimes writing it out allows us to open up the subconscious mind a little bit more. And the next step is to take a look at what you just wrote down and really ask yourself, okay, do I really, really believe this about myself? Do I believe this about myself? Or is it something that I've just been telling myself for years because of a past memory or something like that? So, some of these things we may believe about ourselves, okay? If we feel like we're overweight, then we may actually believe that we're fat, right? Or we're ugly, we're unattractive. But sometimes what we write down doesn't make sense, or we don't really believe it about ourselves. It's just something we've been kind of telling ourselves all through the years. So maybe it's, I'm unworthy, or I'm unlovable. Do you really believe that about yourself? That nobody in the world or nobody in the universe could love you? Your family couldn't love you. Your dog couldn't love you. You know what I mean? It's always like we live in a black and white world. So we always think that just because one or two people, or people back in grade school said stuff to us, that automatically translates to everyone in the world. No, it does not translate to everybody in the world. There's a lot of people in the world, okay? So take a look at them. Take a look at them and analyze them. And then after you've analyzed them, you've identified those behaviors and what limiting beliefs may be tied to those behaviors, even if you don't really know, take a good guess, okay? What you think it might be. The next step is to start implementing better things for yourself, working on self-love, self-care, working on implementing new thought patterns in your head, okay? Affirmations or mantras or journaling. And these may or may not work depending what you're actually writing down or what you're telling yourself in the mirror, okay? Because if you have deep-rooted beliefs about yourself that you feel unworthy, then just talking to yourself in the mirror and telling yourself you're worthy is going to create this conscious-unconscious conflict where your subconscious mind and your conscious mind are not agreeing with one another. So how do you resolve that? Sometimes it takes guidance from a professional, from somebody who is trained to help you in this kind of realm with limiting beliefs and releasing all those things from your life. You could do meditation. So you could do inner work. Inner child work is a great way, really tapping into and asking your inner child what it needs, what it wants, okay? So a lot of it is about self-discovery and self-exploration. A lot of times we do not get to know ourselves. And when we have these thoughts or these beliefs about ourselves that we're unworthy or we're not good enough or we're undeserving, instead of taking a look deeper inside of that, we just kind of take it at face value and live with it. So it's about making a decision for yourself and choosing not to live with it anymore and exploring where this is coming from and once we identify where it's coming from, is it realistic? Is it really, or is it something we just kind of blew out of proportion over time? Is it something we're just ingrained in our minds and led ourselves to believe all this time? Because essentially, our thoughts and what we believe about ourselves is how we see others seeing us, okay? And like I said, it goes back to the toilet paper roll and the Spider-Man, right? So this is our reality and how we see ourselves in the world and how we think that other people see us in the world. But that may not be the case. Other people may see you here, right? As Spider-Man. But we hide our emotions and we don't allow ourselves to either, love ourselves, or we don't allow other people to help us love ourselves. Or find ways to love ourselves, because sometimes we don't know how to love ourselves, right? So, self-love, self-care. Stop beating yourself up. Stop sabotaging yourself. Allow yourself to love. Stop treating yourself like garbage. Stop treating yourself like you're unworthy. Stop treating yourself like you're undeserving, because the more you treat yourself, and in a form of self-abuse, the more you're going to keep reaffirming those beliefs about yourself. So it's about dating yourself, essentially, right? It's not about relying on other people to make you happy. It's not about waiting for other people to approve of you. It's not about waiting for other people to say, it's okay, it's okay. No, you have to work yourself from the inside out, not the outside in, right? So it starts with dating yourself, getting to know yourself, discovering the things about yourself, working on your shadow self, okay? Being okay with those negative emotions that are popping up and not stuffing them back down. Not saying, I'm disgusting, I'm fat, I'm ugly, and pushing those away, just saying those are disgusting thoughts. I don't want to feel them. I don't want to feel them. I don't want to think that way. Explore it. Go face in. Say, why do I feel okay? I'm fat. I'm ugly. I'm insecure. Why? Why? Delve into it. Explore it. Explore it. It's the only way. Explore the inner child within you. Explore the shadow self. Embrace all of it. And the most important thing is to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. Realize that you are not a bad person because of your behaviors. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. The only reason why you're exhibiting behaviors in your life that are not up to par in your book, right? That are unhealthy for you is because of it's imprinted in your mind. You've trained yourself that way. You've trained yourself that way, but realize you can change. You can train yourself in a different direction, right? You can move yourself. You can shift yourself in another direction. Just because this is what you've always believed about yourself doesn't mean that this is how it will always be in the future, how it has to be in the future. It's not set in stone. Nothing is set in stone, not even your thoughts, not even your beliefs about yourself. Don't accept it. Do not accept it. Right? Don't accept it. So many times we just accept it. We give up, in a sense. We give up on ourselves. We say, I'm unlovable, and that's it. That's it. We throw ourselves up in the air, right? Throw our hands up in the air. No. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on your life. Don't allow those past memories or those beliefs that you've held on to, because it's an attachment. You're attached to them. You're attached to them. And it feels uncomfortable to let them go, because it's like anything, letting anything go, releasing anything, releasing a specific person from your life, or even releasing clutter from your life. Anything makes us uncomfortable because it's outside of our comfort zone. It's outside of our realm of knowledge of what we know, where we feel safe and protected. So a lot of it is about feeling protected. As humans, we do everything in our power to feel safe. But understand that sometimes it's not for our benefit. It's not for our benefit. Sometimes we have to face the dragon head on. So with that being said, really, I hope this helps you kind of think about it a little bit more. And instead of when you're having these negative beliefs pop up for you and the negative thoughts and the negative emotions, don't try to push them away, but explore them and see where they're actually coming from. Because again, you know, the low self-esteem, how you are perceiving yourself is quite different probably from how other people are perceiving you in this world. So just remember that you think that is your reality, or you think other people are talking about you, or you know, it's you're reliving past memories in your brain. You're reliving past experiences, but you can shift that. You can shift that 100%. But you have to be open to it. You have to allow yourself. And most importantly, you have to forgive yourself. You have to forgive yourself and not hold on and attach to the past. Okay? So on that note, have a great day, and I will see you on tomorrow's video. Peace.